You want to know what's going on with Smart Doll this week? Who are you gonna call? Sandy?
And John.
This is your Smart Doll news on My Lady Disdain.
Welcome to the Smart Doll News, everybody, and a definite thank you to all the denizens of the court.
The courtiers.
To all you members of the court who are showing up live for us tonight, thank you for joining us. This is the first time we're doing it on a Monday night.
Yes.
We're glad you got the memo. Straight out of the gate, we have our first super chat. Magical Girl Kit Kat Gaming, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kat.
We hadn't even talked about this. We just got super chats and super stickers enabled for you to show your support to the stream. One of the things that we are going to be doing with any of the money that people are gracious enough to donate, we're actually working towards getting a 3D printer. That's officially what we're aiming for.
Yep.
So we can start focusing on building props and a lot of detailed things for our stories. Thank you, Magical Girl Kit Kat Gaming, for being the first one. Doing a super chat or a super sticker, you do get a call out like this, and we will do our best to acknowledge them as they come up, like Kat here.
It is indeed almost my birthday.
What we'll also be doing is prioritizing any super chats at the end of the show during the Q&A. We will also be reading out a list of the super chats from the previous week at the beginning of each show. If you are able to help support the channel, we greatly appreciate it. We love making content for you, and just want to keep making more of it and making it better.
Thank you, Nico Osagi.
I do want to also call out that you've been a great help in the Discord in opening up some of the Discord options as well.
We have stickers and stuff in the Discord now, thanks to Nico.
Yep, and of course, what I care about is higher quality video.
Yes.
It is getting harder and harder for us to keep track of the chat. There's so many of you, and you're getting really talkative with each other.
Which is fantastic.
Yes, we love it. Yeah, and thank you so much, Raven Ghoul, and I love the name. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anna.
I think we need to get started with the news. Let's dig into our first story. I actually didn't write it down here on our sheet. Thank you, Stephanie. So this is Mummy Chitose with a no sign. It's basically a Ghostbusters logo.
Yeah.
With a mummy.
Yeah, which I think is pretty awesome. And does that mean that he's going to start making patches? Like, I think he mentioned something about doing some patches.
I think so. I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's hard to get an idea for the size of this, but my guess is it's somewhere around, if it was like a shoulder patch, it would be like 3 inches or something like that.
Yeah, like 3 inches would be on the big side. I think it'd be like two and a half, something like that. Yeah, she's really cute. Even smaller could go onto like a human-sized beanie. So if he did smaller ones, you could put it on your own hat.
Yep. Thank you, Amy. She said thank you for sharing all the fun news with us. I look forward to your videos.
Thank you so much. That's really awesome.
The only thing Danny said about this was, I think I need to make a phone call, which actually kind of confused you.
It confused me at first. I was like, what?
What does this mean?
Yeah, and then I realized, it's the no symbol. And yeah.
Who are you going to call? Like, that's it. That's all he's done. Drop that. Definitely think that some patches are coming in our future, and I think you're right. He mentioned it somewhere.
He'd mentioned it at some point that there would be patches coming. And the thing was like, we've been like seeing like Mirai carries and stuff periodically in the studio tour, and I'm wondering, is he doing new Mirai carries, and will there be patches that you can put on them? Like, is he planning some sort of collection thing? Apparel. I'm not going to sing this week.
Okay. That's totally up to you.
This is hot. I'm loving it. We have a black trench coat, very, it's like a pea coat trench coat, because it's got the double on it.
Yep.
With the brass buttons.
It is very close, very similar to the coat that C2 wears, the school uniform.
Right,
but
and it's the color palette of the ones that Lelouch and everybody wear.
Right, but it doesn't have like the gold trim and things like that. But those cut off. You can see this has sort of like a chevron, a point at the bottom. Those are straight square across, so I've compared them. It's definitely not a variation,
different.
but yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love the black. I think that's going to be a hot item. So here we have what looks to be the pattern for it.
We're not actually sure it's the pattern for that or something else. Like, this sort of looks like that, right? But that's a back panel.
If you're somebody who doesn't sew, you can tell that's a back panel because it actually says BC along the center line, and that's back center, or, like we might see CB for center back, but that's the back center. And then if you go up, you can see a yoke. It looks like it might be a flap that goes over the back because the yoke, I think, might be on the other side, but it could be the other way around.
Yeah, there's two sort of yokes going on here. Both say back center on it.
One of them could be like the flap that goes over the back.
It is interesting to me, though, this piece, it does not have a seam allowance on these edges. Maybe that's the inside flap. Like,
it might be.
It's the inside of the back piece with that little...
that's either 3 notches or it's the serge marker. I think that's how they denote to serge it. That might be a triple notch. I can't really tell for sure.
So a triple notch would mean that it lines up with something else?
Yeah.
But even then, wouldn't it still have some sort of seam allowance?
Yeah, probably. Not all patterns have a seam allowance showing, but theirs do. And they even tell you how much it's going to be.
Now over here we have what looks to be some sleeves and the very distinct outline of the Solar Marine emblem.
So I'm wondering, if it is that black jacket, is it going to have a Solar Marine patch on the arm? Which would be kind of cool.
Whatever this is, it's a Solar Marine something. The strange thing is, though, it's got pockets. It's got pockets in weird places. Like, this looks like the front. And you've got this odd, I don't know, like, it looks kind of like a pocket, but it's, like, tilted to one side, which is really strange.
So this is that middle place where it's marked in red. You see where it's marked in red there in the center?
Yeah.
So that's a belt line. Like, it's showing you where the belt is going to be positioned. But it might also be a drawstring line.
Okay.
It's sometimes hard to tell on his patterns unless you can read the
Japanese.
The Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have these pockets. So there's definitely pockets going somewhere, and these would be external pockets.
The only other thing I thought that might be is the flaps for the shoulders.
It's really interesting. I really like, trying to dissect this and figure out, like, what the heck is going on.
Yeah. Got the tiger print bikini in basically snow colors.
Yeah, the white tiger print is very cool. And I think it's better than the yellow, personally. You
know how you were saying you liked the idea of the top of this underneath like a shirt or something like that?
Yep.
This underneath the glacier version of the Solar Marine uniform, the white and the black and white, grayish white pants, and then the jacket, but the jacket's like partway open with the bikini underneath.
Yep.
That would look really cool.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't make much sense, but
right.
Thank you so much, Janice.
Really, really grateful for the support. Thank you so much. Next up is faces.
Faces. Sorry, I sang a little bit.
That's all right. Do your thing.
Okay, so let's talk about faces. So we had been toying with the idea, is maybe Danny gonna start doing some face plates? I'm going back to my original theory based on this photo and saying no. I think that these flat pieces are just quick ways to be able to work on the faces and stuff and not do a whole head.
Yeah, I think they're prototypes. I'm disappointed to be rethinking this because I really want to believe that faceplates are coming. We've seen him be doing this a bunch, and then it turns into a full head, and
so here we are seeing 3D printed half faces and then completed full faces.
Yeah.
Full heads. So.
And this is kind of brilliant to really prototype a face up, to get the shape and the 3D aspect of it, and quickly draw in some faces and experiment without having to ruin well, I guess you're not really ruining too much, but possibly damaging, an actual vinyl head or something like that.
Right. But her face is coming out awfully pretty. I am starting to really like Closed Eyes Girl.
I'm liking the pink that they're bringing in here, and this is like the most far along. They've got some blushing happening. Mm-hmm. The mouth looks really good.
Now see, I'm kind of the opposite. I'm actually liking the way it's looking pre-blushing. But this is definitely, the pre-blushed version is definitely more just like an art thing. Whereas the one with the blushing looks more like a smart doll.
Thank you, Ruth. And here we have Survivor. She's a survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not gonna give up.
No. At first, she was afraid. In fact, you could even say she was petrified.
Loving that wig on her.
Yeah, so this is the burn scarring girl, full body burn scarring.
Now, is this just the photo, or is that a new wig color? Is that maple? It looks very highlighted, and so I don't know if he's got something going with more highlights. It echoes the marbling in her skin.
Yeah, it
to
does
have those highlights there. So I was wondering if he was doing a new wig because of that.
I don't see any particular evidence that I would trust to tell me that this is a new wig.
Right.
I wouldn't trust how, you need to see a few more pictures. Mimiko, you're welcome. That's all I have to say.
And thank you for the birthday wishes earlier, by the way. I never got to get that out.
Yeah, it's her birthday this week.
Another year older.
We'll be doing a special birthday unboxing right after this. That should be going up this weekend.
Yes.
Survivor's body. A full look at her entire burn-scarred body.
What's really interesting is if you wanted to do, taking away what this is supposed to be for a minute and just looking at the image. Someone commented earlier that it looked kind of like wood. And I kind of agree that you could actually make like a Pinocchio girl. Or maybe a dryad, get some elf ears on there, do a really cool costume. I'm totally into the idea of making a dryad. And maybe even having a removable vinyl tattoo that's like a heart with an arrow going through it.
Love it.
I'm totally making a dryad girl, everyone. It's happening.
We're apparently buying a burn scar girl. Now we're getting a close-up of this girl that was like way on the other side of the room in that photo last week.
Yeah, we looked at this photo last week and like had to zoom way in on it to get her up on the screen and everything. And then now we have an actual full nice version of her, which is very cool.
Totally the chi sculpt.
Yes.
I love this girl. I'm shocked that there hasn't been another doll on the chi sculpt before.
But it also almost makes me think: is this a new new chi multiverse in T?
I don't think so.
I mean, he's taken Monday out and redone her. Not Monday, Monday, and also Melody.
Isn't Chitose Multiverse like the newer of the, like, she's relatively new, and she's I'm not saying that it's not possible, but that's a huge departure. That's Chi gone normal girl. Katie Moore has my back. She says multi-Chi is like a little over a year old. Setting aside how different these are, it's way too soon for a revamp of Chi.
But I am loving that face.
She's gorgeous. I want to know her name. Tell me her name, Danny. And can we just take a moment? Where's our police uniform, Danny?
Some people got it in chaos.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count. We need uniforms. Solar Marine uniforms, police uniforms, more uniforms.
Ben, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I am totally blown away right now.
It's just a couple of Yagamis. I do want to point something out. We've looked at some of these pictures and we're like, oh, faceplates, faceplates, faceplates. We talked about it earlier with like the ones for the sleeping girls. There's something that I completely had been misinterpreting about some of these. It was that this looked like it was bisected in half. Like it was actually, at first glance that this could be like a faceplate or something. But it's just a 3D print and there's a strut supporting the ear, which looks like an edge, but you can see the rest of the back of the head back there.
Still, Danny, faceplates. Neat idea.
Yeah, no, do it.
We'll buy all our dolls again.
Wait a minute. We'll buy one of our dolls 20 more times. Okay, so that brings us to our halfway point in the show, which means
shameless self-promotion.
We have to always take a moment, especially for everyone who are watching this, the edited version on Wednesdays. Please hit that thumbs up button, like the video. It is the single greatest indicator for YouTube to say this needs to get put in front of more people. We know there's more people out there that we're not reaching, and we'd love to get to them. So Danny doesn't have any new releases this week, but we do. We have officially expanded every t-shirt on our site to include both unisex and women's cuts. You have enough options to find the best fit that's going to work for you. We've got the Keep Calm and Carry On in unisex and women's t-shirts. The colors are going to be a little bit different, so be sure to check those out. All of that changes depending on, the t-shirt that we're putting it on.
Some fun ones. Oh, I love that green. I didn't see that. And make sure that you just are definitely checking out both the size charts carefully when you order.
The size charts are here, although I'm going to update this with labels. The top is in imperial, in your inches, and you've got metric on the bottom. It also, though, does have relations to US and EU sizing. I've updated the organization on the site. You can see here, you can browse by t-shirt type, unisex, women's, but you also have collections, Star Wars, Smart Doll, Shakespeare, and My Lady Disdain. So we are officially launching...
So excited.
My Lady Disdain logo tees. We'll have more coming in black, pink, and white.
I like the white with the pink lettering a lot.
Yeah. Pop on there, get a My Lady Disdain t-shirt. We have a bunch more to come. More t-shirts, a lot of Smart Doll themed t-shirts coming up.
And if you are a member of our Discord,
you will probably have already seen some of them. If you go to myladydisdain.com/Discord, you can join our Discord server, be a part of the Court of Disdain, meet a lot of amazing people. We are also putting lots of sneak peeks of what's coming down the pipe for the store.
and we're also doing events. Like, for example, this coming up Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, we are having just a casual sewing circle. Like, bring whatever project you're working on, and we're just gonna kind of hang out and geek out about sewing, crafting things.
Yeah, Katie, this whole believing in a small artist like me, it took very little to believe in you.
You are so talented.
I mean, there's so many talented people, Katie, all the people on our Discord. You guys prove it just by sharing your work. It is not a leap of faith. The mech body.
Mech body.
Mech body. So we're finally seeing 3D prints of the sort of completed pieces now, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're gonna mold all of that together. These were things that we've seen in pieces.
Yep.
That were then put together. And now we're seeing it in one. Now you got a whole lineup of mech body parts, but this is the piece that Sandy and I could not figure out. It's just really cool to see all the pieces coming together. The thing, though, that I really want to call out here is Yagami!
With his angry eyes.
We're a jukebox musical now. By the one that says, that actually looks like Crimson Kai.
Oh, it might be. He has red eyes.
There you go. But I assume Yagami, I don't know what he's going to do, but I hope he gives him red eyes, or at least gives you the two different eyes to pop in.
I totally forgot all about Crimson when he showed that. So that does look like Crimson.
Well, fine. This is the piece that comes down underneath the bust. I'm not sure how it attaches up here, what this connects to, but we're finally seeing those pieces that we were confused by coming together into one. Mm-hmm. Now here, it's not really the mech body or the cyber parts. I don't think this is what we've decided a while ago was a new frame that he's been working on. Mm-hmm. And this is the thigh pieces. And you can actually see all the pieces, the other pieces here. These are the legs, the knees.
Okay. Yeah, see, I was just thinking, because that type of structure with the kind of rounded triangles all through it, the rounded triangles, those appear in the cyber stuff as well.
This is literally a thigh, and it's a thigh frame. This is a thin, he was taking what used to just be a tube, and is now turning it into struts, really things, all these triangles are essentially more support.
Yeah, Anna says...
Triangles for strength!
Is that a t-shirt?
Maybe.
Triangles for strength!
I feel like it's a triangle with a fist.
Triangle freedom!
The other thing on this picture is another shot of the sleeping girl.
Mm-hmm. Magic Durgan says, I identify as a triangle now. Triangle freedom!
Viva la triangulation! Yeah, so more fuller look at the thigh. Assumedly the knee is going to basically socket into there.
Right. Accessories.
Here are Tabby boots again. Just another update shot. We've got all the pieces broken out. I don't know if this is the under piece, if this is the sole, or...
I think that's the top front of the boot. So you have this middle thing slots into, see how that line goes across the top there?
Okay.
So you're looking at, that is the top of it. That is the piece that goes like down.
Like the front, kind of like the tongue, if you will.
Right. It just goes down the front of the boot.
Here is something confusing to me. Because we talked about we mentioned the black Chelsea boots last week. Mm-hmm. Is this vinyl? Is it? I started turning into Max Headroom there. Is this a vinyl?
No. Wait, is that stitching? Maybe maybe it's time to make the vinyl version. This might be leather, because he says he has to use a real shoe to make the vinyl one. I think it's going to come in vinyl, and I think that this is the leather one that they're using to make the vinyl.
Okay, so they've essentially attached this funnel.
Or it's inside it or something.
Right.
Yeah. Moment of squee!
Thus, the end of the news is always brought to you by the moment of squee.
And of course, always good for a squee, Chitose Multiverse. In this case, in Interstellar Blue.
Yes, this is Blucci.
Just showing, I guess, that they're making some. There's more coming.
For something like the Blue Dolls, this is a good way to check in, there's gonna be a drop. They're making some more cheese. There's gonna be a Blucci drop at some point.
At least you can go, there may be a blue, be on the lookout for a Blucci drop, because those could be going out to Anime Sugoi, or they could be going to Iris at Fabric Friends.
I don't think he does that, though. I don't think he's going to put this up here and then send all of that out. I think he teases us with these. Mm-hmm. And why would he tease us with something that we're never going to see?
That's true.
So my suspicion is that if this is making it to here, eventually it will make it, at least some of them will make it onto the website. Mm-hmm. And lastly, what are you guys doing with your time? This was Hokkaido?
Yes.
I think this is Hokkaido.
Yes.
Middle of winter, swimming in the frozen lake or whatever this is. You guys are nuts. Chat saying, it's a polar plunge. Well, what I always remember about the whole idea of polar plunges or whatever is that you're naked.
Yeah, they do it. They do it where we were living in New York, and my nephew actually did it every year.
Yeah, you're not like this where you're hanging out. You jump in and get out.
Yeah.
It's really always good to see not only the people who are making all these great dolls for us, mm-hmm. Really getting to see the team, getting to know them, but getting to also see how Danny treats his employees.
I mean, these are all people that live in Tokyo. I mean, and he takes them out to get to nature.
Yep. Can we come, Danny? Can we?
When they let us come to Japan?
Yeah, if we ever are allowed to enter Japan again. We have some time for some questions.
Okay, so Janice said, do you think Danny might offer both the open eye and the sleeping heads together with the body? I'm gonna say maybe. My thought is, are they just at least at first just gonna go to the grid?
Yeah, well, that's true. You could do there in a pack. It would be very cool. I would definitely want to be able to buy them separately, but newer dolls, if they've got some good expressions, I would definitely want a pack.
It's like us talking about Komi. I would love that as a set. Give me Komi with a semi-real type or ish head, or maybe the half open anime, whatever, and then a full anime head for her expressions, and have that be part of the licensed doll package. But that's a one-off. That's not every single doll that he has getting a sleeping head.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go simplicity myself. I think he's gonna make life as easy on himself as possible. Jenna wants to know if he's gonna do any more unnatural skin tones. Yes, definitely he is. The next one is gray. That's all we really know right now.
He has said gray and green are happening, but gray is, I think, what is being really worked on right now.
Motocorner asks, where can we find pre-owned dolls? You can find them a lot of places, but where you should probably find them is like Facebook groups.
And get them from people who can give you references.
You know, make sure you get their like shipping information and everything, basically whatever Danny has. If you have an issue and you didn't buy it, like you'd want to be able to say this is the person who bought it.
If you go to a Facebook group, you can actually like go back and search for that person, their actual posting history in the group. So you can also actually post like, hey, I'm looking for a classic Chitose. What is the going rate?
And Lee mentioned something really important, which like almost all of the Facebook groups like have it as a rule. Do not use the friends and family PayPal to pay for a doll secondhand. It is such a bad idea because you're opening yourself up to, you know, so many problems and there's no protection for it. Always use the business.
The goods and services option.
If they push back on it at all, I would just walk away, you know? And like I said, most groups have a rule
about no friends and family, yeah.
Aki asks, would you do a video with a full cast of your smart dolls, like a trip down memory lane from the very first doll to the last one? We had plans to do a New Year's video, and we would basically be setting them up in the photo studio to take pictures of them. So it'd be kind of mixture of behind the scenes of us taking pictures and talking about the dolls. And sort of introducing them, who they are, what their story is. We have one main problem. 4 of our heads, I think it's mostly just Jinx is the real missing one.
Yeah.
We're missing a chunk of our heads because Katie Moore is actively working on some face-ups on them. So we're actually getting an angry Jinx done. So that is going to be a lot of fun. I have too many headless bodies right now, and I think it kind of needs to be everybody.
Well, you'll be getting a tour from us because we are working on some stuff for Create Room, which will include like before and after of our various spaces that we use for Smart Doll and for the channel.
Kit Kat Crafts and K-Pop says, they asked Danny, where is Kanata? No response yet. So we'll do it again for you. Hey, Danny. Just, you know, it's just us here.
Yeah, we're just kind of wondering.
You don't have to, I mean, we won't tell anybody else.
But where is Kanata?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little weird right now, right? I mean,
she's like everybody else is around and like, or at least we've heard about them, but it's like David Miscavige from Scientology's like where is Shelley? This is like, where is Kanata?
Or
what
like,
did you do with Kanata?
Or maybe it's like Stranger Things and Kanata is Barb. Could she be dead or on the upside down? Where is she? Yeah, anyway, we don't know. In honor of Sandy's birthday this week, I recommend you take a trip down memory lane with us and go watch the video of the birthday unboxing we did a year ago of Smart Doll Entropy.
That's all for us. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.